You're right, you lovely lot. Mark here with another Batman installment for you lot. And today is an interesting one. It popped up in a Discord, in a Facebook as well, of people asking, where do I get older tokens? Because they're either new to the Batman game or they're coming back into it. Now, if you are fortunate, you may have some of the actual markers that Night models created, such as these arrow markers and the flash markers, which are quite useful. Or you may have a friend of yours or something, or if you're in your old stash of markers, objective markers, so on and so forth. I'm fortunate, I do have a Joker inspired one, as you can see, haha there, and so on and so forth. But, as I said, you're coming back in, you're refreshing. Where do I go to get some tokens to then start playing my games? Now, before I forget, I'm not affiliated with these people. They are counter-attack bases. I've ordered this myself. They don't even know I'm doing this. They have no idea. Don't know if that's going to be good or bad. We shall see. But counter-attack bases, which I'll put in the description, they have tokens for all sorts of different game systems. Plenty of Games Workshop ones as well as the Batman one. I believe they got Infinity. Tons and tons of different ones. This is their Batman 3rd edition compatible starter token set. Quite a bit of a long name, but it's grand. It's £17.30. You get to change the colour of the suspect markers to whatever you want, but everything else is what you see here. So you've got suspect markers, audacity markers, street lamp, sewer markers. You've got resource markers, pass markers, boss markers, activated, penalty movement, knocked out, attack and defense, movement boosts, and knockdown markers. Everything you need to start, and they're really, really well just engraved. I know this is acrylic and you can't really go wrong with it, but they're good sizes, and all jokes aside, they've made good choices with the colours. It's quite easy to denote what's what. As I said, the only thing that I chose was blue for the suspect markers because I thought it would go well with the resource markers being blue. Okay, you're fighting over these bits. That's my idea behind it. The audacity marker, as I said, street lamp here, and city sewer cover. I do actually have these in miniature forms from Night models, but it is quite useful having things like that because, as I said, I found this grand when I was doing the demos at GriffCon. Okay, but I've also stated in the past they do custom dice as well. So if you wanted custom dice for your affiliation, your team, like the Joker and stuff, you can get them cut and engraved. So I got my 6+ save dice with the colours on these ones, and they do that as well. I believe at the time of recording, it's like £1 a dice. So if you want a set of 10 dice, I believe their minimum is £10, 10 dice. You're kind of suited and booted. But we're going to pop over to their website in a moment and just show you what it actually looks like. And they do roll pretty well, I will say. But grand little set. We're going to pop over, have a little look, and show you what it's all about. Alright, so now we're on the website of Counter Attack Bases. Sometimes I do get that tongue-tied, I do apologise. But they do tons of different things on here. So they do your custom dice, they do Middle-earth, they do Underworlds, Horus Heresy, Old World, Age of Sigmar, trophies and wooden spoons. They do things for 40k, Necromunda, Batman, Blood Bowl, Song of Ice and Fire, Walking Dead, King's War, and Bushido. And then the one we're obviously going to be looking at for this example is the Batman one. But as I said, they do loads of different ones and they're all great quality. So the one I've just shown you there, as we're recording, is this one here, the compatibility starter one, which I thought I had ready. There you go. So as you can see, the only thing that I chose to have was the suspect markers. You get an option, amber, you get loads of different options there. As I said, I went for smoke grey, if I remember correctly, because that then made it match for my own sanity resource, the resources and the activated one. It's kind of you activated, so on and so forth. They're made out of 3mm perspex, so they are pretty darn durable. The only ones that you'd need to then get after that, and I emphasize you would need to get, would be the blood and stun markers, because they are very useful for being on the cards. I would advocate possibly getting 2 sets of these, because you get 16 red blood tokens and 16 stun ones. So that's your blood. You if you've played the game or read the game, you kind of understand the idea of stun is your stars, and blood is health damage. So 32, I would say, would see you fit. I don't see you really needing more than that. Okay? But for starting out, 16 is absolutely fine. Okay? For my own sanity, I am going to be getting hold of the condition markers, because they come with 2 of each: fire, poison, blind, cooled, freeze, hypnotized. I can't pronounce it for love nor money. Slow, stunned, paralyzed, scared, and terror. Tons of options there, and that's useful as well, so you can note down which of your guys have been affected. You can remember yourself, but I do find tokens being quite useful. And also it's useful for you and your opponent. So if you're playing against me, for example, I would like to think you know then what's going on. There's no accidental moment, oh, I forgot he had this, I forgot he had that. It just makes it a nicer gaming scenario. The only other ones that may then become of use is the explosion and the spray template and the ammo ones. Just for my own sanity, the ammo one can be quite useful, because certain weapons may only get 2 or 3 ammo. Automatic gun on Jim Gordon comes to mind. I believe that's 3 shots. So you put 3 tokens on there. As he's taken a shot, you take a token off. That's the point of these tokens. And it's just very, very useful. Special suspect markers and so on. They're all really, really nice. And I do like the MDF hub thing. So you can put the card in there. Cards, conditions, willpower, and so on and so forth. They're all just to one side. Just very useful. I believe, if I remember correctly, that would slot in the ammo tokens. But yeah, have a little look through. They even do specific actual strength die, which is quite nice with the crit logo on there. But if we do venture back to the actual custom dice side, because I would say if you do have a two-face gang or something like that, why not just actually have a look on here? Because you could have your pearlescence, because the pearlescent, the one I went for, was, if I remember correctly, pearl red with white dots, if I remember correctly. There you go. Gemini red black with white pips. That was the one I went for. But say, for example, if I was going for the Joker, I may go for the purple and gold, for example. You pick your poison, like, all jokes aside. And then all you got to do is send off an image of what you want on the 6 side, and you're good to go. Just follow the instructions. There you go. Upload an image, name it, and they'll get back to you. And it's just grand. You've got some actual dice to go with your crew, because I do think Batman really does go well when you put time and effort behind it, like any other war game. But you really put that time and effort behind. There's nothing wrong with you having a League of Shadows dice and tokens and bits and pieces, or Two-Face, or Organised Crime, or Mr. Freeze Gang. As I said, there's loads of different options, and I do think adding that little bit of variety to it is grand. But yeah, have a little look through. If you play other game systems, why not do a bit of a order? Why not, if friends of yours play Horus Heresy as well, for example, say, oh, I'm going to place an order and get some custom dice and some Batman, for example. You're into Horus Heresy. Do you want to throw in the order? More the merrier, and it'll probably make counterattack very happy. Okay, and I do believe they are UK based, so it's helping out a UK smaller firm. But anyway, I'm waffling. Thank you so very, very much for watching through to the end. I do hope this has helped you and directed you somewhere that you may actually like to go to play your games. They're great little sets. Great little sets. I need to tidy mine away. But anyway, if you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you've purchased stuff from these guys before. Love to hear it. But anyway, if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. Let me know. I'll be doing more of this content and other content. But take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones, and I hope to catch some of you, if not in the next one. Ta-ra for now. Alright folks, that's going to wrap things up for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate the support. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button, drop a comment down below, and of course subscribe if you haven't already. It all helps more than you know and keeps me going with more content. Until next time, take care, keep rolling those dice, and I'll catch you in the next one.